Okay, I did it. Yakayuch satini, stakatiuhan, achtu yakayiyat acholkini, ya yagitsa, achtu yakayushkanach, wutua ade. Good to see you all. I feel great seeing all your pictures of your faces again. And I'm happy that we're meeting. So this is week 5 of our class. We took a week off last week for AFN, and we're all back together. So, did anybody go to AFN? You want to share or anything else you did during your week? Just so I can hear your voices and we can reconnect.
I didn't go, but I hope to go next year. It seems really fun.
Yeah, it's definitely a blast. I didn't go either, which I found funny because I scheduled a week off from teaching so that everybody could go, and I hyped it up a lot, but I have something going on that I'm excited to share with you, but a project I was working on last week, so I didn't go either. I did go to see my Auntie Monica at the crafts fair, and she gifted me a really beautiful parka. But for people not familiar with AFN, it's a great way to um, just stay in touch with Alaska Native politics, the vision that we're working toward, fisheries management, all kinds of topics. How about anybody else? Did anyone else make it over or watch the live stream?
Heck, no, Satini, it's good to see you. No, I didn't go, but I had a bunch of friends who did, and my dance group went, and I got a bunch of pictures of the event, but no, I did not attend.
Oh, can I ask which dance group you're in?
He's cool.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Nancy Barnes.
Isn't she just lovely?
Mm-hmm.
She ended up kidnapping me one day, and now I'm part of her dance group.
Yay! Good good work, Nancy.
Right? Yeah.
Y- Yeah, I see someone in the chat. I love Nancy. Yeah, we do. She's awesome. Anybody else want to share? How was your week? What have you been up to? What kind of trouble did you dig up?
This is Gina. I'd like to share something.
Yeah.
I put this in the chat a while ago, but I don't think anybody saw it. But maybe this will be a little bit of a longer story. But my daughter recently graduated from college in Hawaii, and when she got her diploma in August, she got two diplomas. One was in the Hawaiian language, and one was in the English language. And I thought that I don't know who to pass that idea on to, but I thought that was an interesting idea. I don't know if anybody at UAS might be interested in doing that. She was not studying the Hawaiian language. I think everybody got that graduated from. It was the University of Hawaii Hilo, and so I just wanted to put that out there as maybe an idea for UAS, maybe the high schools in town or something like that. But I thought that was nice.
That's awesome. And congratulations to your daughter on her graduation. That's a lot of hard work.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Hawaiian language programs. I actually got to visit their campus in Hilo during spring break this year, um, and their immersion schools, which are fantastic. But I have a lot of admiration for the programming that they collaborate to put together. Their language leaders are amazing. But yeah, my teacher, Renee Lance Twitchell, did a PhD project that was dual language with the Hawaiian language as well, um, which is really awesome. And he teaches at UAS, so I hope they I hope they talk about it soon. That'd be awesome.
Well, I guess maybe just one other quick note. So she was participated in the graduation ceremony and she got a special, I mean, everybody did, got a special necklace. I wish I could describe it a little bit more. And then a special cloth that they all wore over their graduation gown as well. So it was really, really nice.
Oh, that's lovely. It's beautiful. Is anybody else involved in language programs in the university or certificates or anything like that?
Hi, it's Saki in Yukon. So through the Yukon Native Language Center that's based out of Yukon University, they're doing lots of Yukon First Nation language programs. And whenever there's Tlingit ones, I'm always one of the first ones to sign up. So yeah, it's a great resource for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, the Yukon Native Language Center. I've been there and I found that they were so generous with their language learning resources too, and sharing books and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, it's free for Yukon First Nations. So it's really, really generous.
Okay, awesome. Okay, I see. In the chat, I love this conversation going on. People saying "Yak e uch satini achuni," and then you guys are teaching each other. I'm gonna put it on the screen because it's fun. So, for people following in the chat, let's do. I'm gonna put it up on the screen so everyone can see. Let's do, okay. Tlingit and English. And somebody said in the chat, and thank you for translating to Yekayuxatini. Achuni. Good to see you, my friend. And then was there another one? Let me find that chat. And then somebody said Gunalchish. And these are such great conversational phrases, whether you're just starting out or trying to use more Tlingit in your conversations. I'm gonna have us practice these together. So let's do this first phrase we started as a class, and let's get back into it. So this first word means it's good, and it's got this apostrophe after the K, so it will sound nice and sharp. And then you have a nice high tone, long EI after it. So let's say this word together. Repeat after me. Yake.
Yep. Okay.
Yak e.
Yep. Eh.
Good. And then the next word means to see you. And I have a breakdown of this in the next slide, but let's just focus on the pronunciation for now. This ichsatini. So you have an I and then an underline X that's rounded, meaning it has a W after it. When you see a W in the Tlingit language, just round your lips and breathe out this X sound. So repeat after, and then let's go ichsa. So the first half of this word, repeat after me. Ichsa.
Ejusa.
Elsa.
Ewasa.
Okay. And then the whole word to see you. Ichsatini.
Ejusatini.
Elsa.
Good. In the English language, a W will always have a vowel in between it and another like S. So our English teaches us to say ihwasa, but you're actually going to squish all these consonant sounds together, which is super fun. But just think of the W as you're just rounding your lips. So say the word again, ihsatini.
Satini.
Yeah, nice. Spot on. Sound good. So put these two words together and repeat after me. Yeke ihsatini.
Satini.
And then these next two words mean my, my, and then friend, chuni. Yeah, so let's do these two words. Chuni. Good. Again, chuni. Good. And let's do the whole line. Repeat after me. Yeke satini chuni. Good job. Sound good. And when I say this to one of my elders, she always says this response. It means thank you. Repeat after me. Gonalchish. Good. Again. Gonalchish. Wow, your pronunciation is really good. Since we're talking about that phrase, I did a short breakdown with colors, and this yak as in purple, it means it's good, like we mentioned. And then in this word, satini, it starts with an I sound. And in the Tlingit language, we put that at the beginning of an action word to say that the action is happening to you. So I'm the one seeing and I see you. And so if you're talking to one person and you're saying it's good to see you, you use this I sound at the beginning. So I means you for one person. And so let's say this word, satini. Good. So you'll notice that the word order is a little different because the singular you is orange, just like this I. So that's what it means, but it's in a different word order than we see in English. So we don't need to memorize that right now, but just take note of it and start to internalize it as we use this phrase over and over again that that's how we're saying it. So let's do it one more time. Repeat after me. Satini. So what if we're talking to more than one person and it's good to see them? How would we say that? Good job. Good. Yeah, good job. So this I sound for a singular you, single one person, turns to ye. So I for singular, ye for more than one person. So let's do this one. Repeat after me. Satini. Good job. Again. Satini. Job. Any questions about that?
I always have trouble. I want to say Satini, but it's Satini.
Oh. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Is there something like a reasoning that's making you wanted to say you or something you've seen before that you keep thinking about?
I think it's the plural you in English.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could kind of use that as a memorization device. Ye sounds like you. Um, that's interesting. I'm gonna think about that, about how to retrain your brain to say ye, because that's so interesting to me as a teacher.
Whenever I think of the ye, I think of y'all.
Uh-huh.
Y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like whenever you say ye, it's like everybody, all y'all.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a good one. And I have in the English translation at the bottom of this page, it's good to see you all. Y'all is such a translatable, it's such a relatable translation to go from, because ye means you all. English is a little different in that you use the same word you, whether you're talking about one person or multiple people, but most languages use different separate words, so makes it fun. I guess the Cowboys had that one right.
The South didn't give us much, but it gave us y'all.
Yeah. This one is another one for you all. And I hear this when people are addressing a room full of people and they want to be polite and they say, it's good to see you, all of you. So they add this extra word, the cut and Yuhan. So what we're adding here is we have Yuk'ayuxatini. That part's the same. Let's practice these first two words. Yuk'ayuxatini.
Yay.
Hey, you, Satini.
Okay.
Good. One more time. Let's start with just this green word, yuxatini. Repeat after me. Yuxatini.
Satini.
Good. Good job. And then these next two words are just adding all of you. It's good to see you, all of you. And so the first purple word means like all of or every one of. And you have an L and a D right next to each other. And your mouth can do it, even though it's not something you would see in the English language. But you're going to breathe out this L sound. And then just bounce, your tongue will kind of bounce into this D. So repeat after me. The cut.
Duck cut.
Uh-huh, good. And the way I practiced this one was to make the Tlingit L at the very beginning to make it really long. And so you're just sitting there breathing out air. There's kind of some spit flowing at the sides of your tongues. That's what's making this the sound of the L. If you make it nice and long and then say da, repeat after me. Da. Good. Yeah, that's it. And one more time, the whole word. Da cut.
Duck cut.
Uh-huh. Good. And then the next word means you, all of you. You, Han.
Yuhan.
Yuhan.
And Nas Shak, this part kind of does sound like you in this word, you, Han. So you have this long Y-E-E sound here, ye. And then you round your lips at the end, you. And so let's practice this, everybody. Repeat after me. You.
You.
Yeah. And of course, we're overdoing it, but we want to practice how our mouth makes these sounds. So let's do the whole word. Yuhan.
Yuhan.
Yeah. And so, without going too far into the grammar, we have this word for you, all of you. This is if you have a group of people and you just want to address them. You, Han, you, all of you, Han.
All y'all.
Yeah, all of y'all. And then if you have it in front of an action, like to see, I'm seeing you, and you just have this you. But let's practice this whole phrase. Repeat after me. It's kind of long, but something I like to do is just take my time when I have a long phrase. So don't rush yourselves. If you feel tense in your chest or your throat, just like kind of focus on your breathing and relax. And just take your time. So repeat after me. Satini, the cut you, Han.
Yeah.
Hey, you, Satini.
One.
Uh-huh, good. And then we'll do it one more time. Yakayuk satini stakat yuhan.
Yakayuk satini sakat yuhan.
You.
Ah, good job. Uh-huh. Good. I think you all sound really good. Um, sometimes one time when I was sitting with an elder, uh, another person my age, another learner like me was speaking, and the elder leaned over to me to say, you guys need to remember to slow down when you're speaking so that we can hear you and we can understand you. And I was super grateful to get that feedback because especially if I'm going to speak the language in front of elders, I want to do it really right, but sometimes my desire to do it right makes me like tense up and then feeling nervous. I try to say it really fast and get it over with. But it's okay to slow down. The way you guys just said that right now was like so calming to me to hear, and that's the impact you have on people when you speak nice and slow like that. So good job. Okay, any more questions? Awesome. I see someone in the chat says, I love learning the grammar. So that's good for me to hear. That's good feedback. This is how I like to teach grammar. It's just a little bit of color coding, a little bit of breakdown. And so we talked about this word you, Han, for you all. And then I don't know if you remember 2 weeks ago, one of you mentioned that I'm getting kind of confused between sometimes I hear you, Han, and sometimes I hear Han. And that's a really good point that these words sound a little similar, but they have very different meanings. So you, Han means you all. Okay, you're talking about multiple people, a group of people. I'm addressing you, you, Han. If I want to say us, then I would say Han.
Wuhan.
And uh-huh. So let's practice that one. Us, repeat after me. Han.
Wuhan.
Good job. So the first one for comparison, you all. Repeat after me. Han.
Wuhan.
Good. And then us. Repeat after me. Han.
Wuhan.
Good job. I see someone in the chat said, slowing down and taking my time with each sound was how I learned Japanese. That and Japanese music. Oh, that's super cool. I learned a little Japanese in the past as well. Alicia, do you find that having studied Japanese, is that helping you learn Tlingit, or do you feel any kind of correlation?
I actually think so. I took a lot of Tlingit classes growing up, and so having Tlingit under my belt kind of helped more with um getting Japanese down because the like sentence structures are a little bit more similar than in English.
Mm-hmm.
But I think with Japanese, like the sound system is a lot more relaxed than even English in general. So I think that was one of the hardest things that I dealt with was trying to was not making a lot of the same sounds that we make in English because in Japanese they're a lot more like flowy and kind of soft, and you don't get as many hard sounds in Japanese as you would in in English or even in like Chinese or Korean. So but I think that it definitely helps once you have one language, even just a small amount of one language. It really helps to your brain to kind of be in that mindset to take in other languages.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. That is so exciting. Does anyone else have experience with learning other languages? Do you find that you're affected by one or the other in terms of making it easier or harder?
Well, I speak German fluently, and I learned that from a young age, but I find it helps with the Tlingit when you have to do the guttural sounds or speaking from the back of your throat and that. I find
Mm,
that a lot easier.
so cool. I didn't know that you speak German. That's incredible.
Hmm. I
Awesome.
was even went to school there and lived there on my own.
Wow. Super cool. Anybody else? Anyone else have other languages that you've been learning?
I learned Russian in college years ago, but it's a similar language in terms of the like palatalization of L's and the guttural speaking into your throat as well. So that's kind of helpful.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. I agree with Alicia about Japanese and Tlingit word order in terms of when you're learning another language, you're organizing your mind which thing to say first. So, um, in English, it's good to see you all. We have some similarities. It's good comes first in both languages. But then when it comes to I see you, in Tlingit, you would say you, I see. So it's a little bit different. Um, and also the action word tends to go at the end in Tlingit, which is pretty similar to Japanese. So you kind of code, you kind of each language is a code that you're saving in your mind, and you switch codes to think like, okay, now I'm in Tlingit mode, so the action's gonna kind of come toward the end of the word, the sentence, generally. Um, but yeah, super fascinating stuff.
I was learning French in high school, and then but now my youngest son is in French immersion, so oftentimes I'll be learning French from him. And I know one time in one of my Tlingit classes,
Hello.
I almost answered in French instead of Tlingit, so that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, yeah, that's fascinating. Yeah, so that's what people talk about when they're talking about code switching. Uh, you can get them a little mixed up. I do the same exact thing. Anyone else have experiences with that?
Yeah, me for sure. And I also speak German. I was an exchange student in Germany. And what I also found was like learning the language helped me understand that people are different. They're not all People are not all the same. And when I learned Tlingit, the grammar is just so exciting because it the way words are constructed, there's so many directional things, which is amazing to me. And it creates like it opens up my brain in a different way.
Mm. Do you have an example in mind that you're thinking of?
Well, I think of like the way place names that I know
Hmm.
um, are so relative, like ka and ya,
Hmm.
um, how they're used, and nach, um, those things.
Yeah, awesome. I'll just put these in the chat. I mean, not the chat, but on the screen so we can. So yeah, we have
Um,
cut.
to double up on what Nonstock just said, one of the words I think of.
Oops, sorry, I accidentally muted you. Sorry, I keep pushing it. Can you unmute?
No worries.
Sorry.
One of the words I was thinking of was the word for pillow. I was taught that it's actually not like an item or an object, but like a transitional object that takes you from one place to another, right? Like it's not just like a thing. It's a thing that like has a function of like taking you from one place to like from one realm to another. And I was like, oh, I love how our language works.
Wow. Um, I'm gonna look that up. You said the word for pillow?
Yes.
Okay, this is gonna be fun because this is new for me. I'm gonna
Yeah,
put this
so
in.
this is one of the teachings I received from King Gishtik before his passing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and so that's one of my favorite things that I can think of all the time is how our language functions differently than in English, where like objects aren't just objects.
I see. Yep, I see what you mean. This is super fun about the Tlingit language. So shayet um, is means pillow, but for those of you who are into grammar, I can see a few of you are. Uh, the literal translation is in quotes, thing below the head. And so like Nas Shak was just saying sha would be head, and then below it, so the thing below it would be ye ut. And if you're super curious about these, what we call them a gloss, these breakdowns of the different parts of the word, just a reminder, this arrow points from the Tlingit breakdown to the English breakdown, and they're in the same order. So sha is head, yi is below, not to be confused for you all, and yi satini, it's a different yi, and then ut is thing, shayet.
It was a different word. I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm thinking he probably had another word that he taught you. I'll
Feel
have
like
to snoop around.
it.
Yeah. So in the chat, I have a friend who speaks multiple languages and is looking to build a language learning model for Tlingit that leans away from the academic teaching methods to more natural language acquisition models. Awesome. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Thank you. Yeah, any other thoughts or questions?
One thing, one of the main reasons that I went, because I've always been like a language person in general. In high school and middle school, I did do French, and but um, it's I really took to Japanese, and I think that one of the reasons why is because when if you look at cultural, because when I went to school, I actually went to school, I did a cultural anthropology, and then did a side international business certificate, which I did an internship in Japan in 2012, and um, we we worked on a project where we were talking about the similarities between the Ainu and the Tlingit culture, and like kind of like the Northwest um, natives in general, like the PNW like native um, group as a whole, and how they are very similar to the Ainu, and in a lot of the ways that they dress, a lot of the ways that that their culture just kind of um, exists. And there is an island in Japan that still is very traditional, and does actually still stick to the like Ainu traditions and beliefs, and they still live very um, traditionally, as opposed to having like futurized themselves, or like brought themselves to um like our here and now, which I thought was very interesting. And that was one of the things that I was working on in my schooling, was that I did a project on them for my cultural anthropology class. And it was I knew that before going into cultural anthropology and going to school, but I was really, really interested in that. And so that's why I took Japanese in the first place, because I knew that it had a lot to do, or like it was very similar to what I grew up with already. And I was always interested in how different cultures are very similar, and how they like have kind of bred into each other a little bit.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, congratulations on your work. That's incredible. A lot of good discussions. This is super fun. And it's just nice too to reconnect with you guys and jump right into our community building. You all have so much to share with each other about your language learning experiences, your studies, cultural anthropology. It's super fascinating. So this is fun. I'm going to prepare a future lesson about these phrases you talked about, ka, sha, and nach, because these are really fun, and I want to put something together to talk about those. So let's do our review. I'm just going to ease us back into some of the things that we were learning before we took our week break. Um, Again, we're talking about digging clams and cockles. And of course, this is a tide dependent activity. So the moon and the tides have an impact on harvesting. And so let's talk about this phrase, this yanyawa, what it's a full moon. And the first word was one of our vocabulary words. It means moon or
Okay.
month. And repeat after me, this.
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 Yeah. And then you have this phrase, yanyawa, what?
Yeah.
What?
Good. So main thing about this one is you have a lot of A's. Some of them are short and some of them are long. And I would say that's the biggest thing to pay attention to. So let's start with just this last sound. It's a short high A. Repeat after me. What?
What?
Uh-huh. Good. If you jump ahead to the W before that, you have another short A, but the first one's low, second one's high. So it sounds like this. Repeat after me. Well, what?
What?
Good. Uh-huh. And then the first sound of this word is ya. Repeat after me. Ya.
Yeah.
And the whole word, ya, well, what?
What?
Yeah, I know that. I get tongue twisted too. Let's do it again. Repeat after me. Ya, well, what?
What?
Job. And the word before this, yun.
Yan.
And this yun indicates that the action is completed, so the moon is full. And repeat after. So repeat after me. Yun ya wa what?
What?
Good. And I'll say the whole line. This yun ya wa what?
This.
What?
Oh,
what?
uh, um, let's talk about the tides. I kind of want to get ready for our activity for next week. So these are just review from the springtime. But when the tide is going down, we say this phrase, repeat after me. Yay na shane.
Yay, na shame.
Good. Again, yay na shane.
Yay, na shame.
Good. And then when it's completely down, repeat after me. Yan uwa sa.
Yan uwa sa.
Yeah. So there's a correlation. The first one is it's happening now. The tide is going down. Repeat after me. Ye na sane.
Yay, na shame.
And it's completed. Yan uwa sa. And let's talk about the opposite. So when it's coming back up, dak nadane. And again, dak nadane. Good job. And then yan kat ua da.
Yan uwa da.
Good job. That one means the tide has come up. It's high tide. Again, one more time. Yan kat ua da. Okay, good job. What would you say the tide is in this picture?
Down.
Good. Yeah, go ahead.
Yan kat u
Yay.
Wasa.
Good. Good job. So you guys are recalling without any warning that you are going to have to memorize those, and that's a muscle that I'm exercising on you on purpose. So good job. So we heard yan kat uada. This one as the tide has come up. Repeat after me. Yan kat uada.
Yan kat uada.
Or is the tide down? Repeat after me. Yan uasa.
Yan uasa.
Good. So which one do you think it was?
Yan
Yan
uasa.
uasa.
Ye away. The tide is down. One more time. Repeat after me. Yan uasa.
Yan
Yan
uasa.
uasa.
yan uwala. Bleh.
Good. One more time. Let's start with just this Tlingit L sound. Repeat after me, everybody. Sa.
Sa.
And then start with this repeat after me. Uasa.
Uasa.
And the whole yeah. Again. Uasa. And then one more time. Uasa.
Uasa.
Good job. And the whole phrase. Yan uasa.
Yan
Yan uasa.
an ufaha.
Good job. So next week I'll do like a little fill in the blank and start to quiz you guys on these because you have that recall and it's fun. So one more time, repeat after me. Yan uasa.
Yan
Yan
uasa.
uasa.
Down. And we have a little time, so let's start a little bit of new vocab. Were there any comments or questions before we switch?
I was wondering why yan versus what yan cut?
Yeah, good question. I don't know either, but I'm definitely gonna look it up. So for people, we have this, we talked about yan uasa is this completed action, so the tide is down, came down all the way. And then versus the tide has come up, we have yan cut. And I'll have to look into that one because I don't know, but this ka makes me think of a couple things, and this t makes me think of a couple things. If I'm gonna guess, of course this is a guess, I have to verify this, but the T would be indicating arrival too. So when you say when you go to a place, if I say hot or hot yagudi, yake hot yagudi, this T would be like hot to here. And then ka maybe on it. But I don't know. I need to look that up.
And is that maybe because da is like around it? So it came to all around it?
Let me see if I can find something in the dictionary for that.
Yeah, what's the gloss on it?
Yeah, let's talk about the gloss. Let me see if I can find it in here.
The gloss?
The gloss. What I just mentioned before, the gloss. I'll find an example. It just means a breakdown of like what each part of the word means.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay,
It's
so
my
here's
favorite part.
Okay, good. Yeah, your gloss is popping. So we have dak uada for the tide to rise or come in. Yankat uada, it's high tide. That is the tide has flowed in completely to the shore.
It has arrived at the shore, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense because this dak is a directional for meaning like toward inland. Dak. And so, yeah, the tide is in. Dak uada. Yankat uada. tide to rise or come in. I don't know about your part of the question about does this da have to do with around it. I'm thinking, I don't know. This is definitely its own verb root, da. That's super interesting. I'm gonna keep that in mind while I'm looking around. Good question. And yeah, yen cut versus yen. I'm just gonna skip through and see if I find another one with a gloss. Sure, da, around. This is a different word. I don't know. Good question. Any more questions or comments? I'm going to add this to our list. So, why uncut? Uncut uada. Geez, these are awesome questions. All right, we have a few minutes left, and before we took our break, you all spotted a few more things in our poster that you wanted to know how to say. And so these are 4 of them. We're going to start using these in a sentence. So one of them was comet or falling star. Repeat after me. Huzi. Good. An X in Tlingit without any underline or no pinch. It's just a smooth kind of windy sound that you're making on the top of your mouth. So repeat after me. Huzi.
I always describe it as like a heavy H.
A heavy H. Interesting. Heavy. I like that use of the word heavy to describe it. Huzi. Interesting. Goodness, geez. This one is fun. This is star, and it's kutkhayanaha. So just do your best, and then we'll do a breakdown. Repeat after me. Kutkhayanaha. Sounded easy for you. Again, kutkhayanaha. Good. Good. What does this period do in the middle of the word? Good job. It's a glottal stop. So all it means is you're stopping the air in your throat, just like when you say uh-oh, that little stop in the middle, uh-oh. And so let's do this word, kutkhayanaha. And back to our first one, hutsi. Okay. And kutkhayanaha. Okay, good job. This one is light or lamp, and we have a pinched S. That's why it has an apostrophe here. It just means you make it really sharp sounding. So I kind of do it at the sharpest part of my teeth, and you just kind of make a tiny little gap in between your teeth, and then use your tongue to push that air out. Repeat after me. Ina. Good. Again. Ina. Good. Back to the top. Hutse. Kutkhayanaha. Ina. Good. And then our fourth one for this week is fire. Repeat after me. On. Good. And so the for those of you who are talking about the guttural sounds or the uvular sounds, they just take place in the back of your throat. And so it's if you have an underline X, that's where you're making that friction for this. And it's also pinched. We have an apostrophe here. So you're gonna be back of your throat. You're gonna flex it and kind of push the air out so it sounds real sharp. Repeat after me. On. Good. Yeah, good. And Shirley, my elder mentor, Shirley Kendall, said to use the back of your tongue against the back of your mouth. Yeah, there it is. Repeat after me. On. Okay. So back to the top.
The comet.
Huh?
I said the comet. That's the one that's flying around right now.
Oh, nice. Okay, let's do it again. Repeat after me. Hootsie. Okay. And next one. Next one. Kotkayanaha.
Such a long word for star.
The next one, lamp or light. Ina. Good. And on. Good. So for next week, I'll do a couple fill in the blank exercises for some of these that we talked about. And
I like
then,
filling the blanks.
okay, good. Yeah, you guys are good at those. And then we'll do a little vocabulary drill. And we're gonna start talking about this next poster. And it'll be for the month of November. And it says, as the weather turns cold and stormy, groups travel by boat to reach traditional clam beds and bays and inlets of this convoluted coast. Old woman who pulls the tides gives them only a certain amount of time to gather sacks of clams. The wolf and the moxam the white black bear, are hidden in the trees. So just as a reminder, these posters come from the Tsimshian Language Learning Center. And so the images and the cultural references we see are of the Tsimshian culture. And so we have an opportunity to talk about the things we see in Tlingit. And there's a lot of similarities in the cultures too. But just to give you a sneak peek, that's kind of what we'll start working on next week. But yeah, I think that will be fun. And I'm gonna let you go so you can move on to the next part of your day. But buenas noches, Johan. Okay.
I like the heart. How do they do that?
I know, it's super fun.
I'm trying. I was going to tell you, Anna, I was talking to my sister Heidi. We were